Some words are better left unsaid. As my doctor said, it was all in my head. A diagnosis of disbelief and a diligent discharge to years of grief. Then I saw a girl who saw me back. She was dressed beautifully and had back fat. My thighs were oversized due to inflammation. Instantly, we shared so much misinformation. We sat, sipped ginger, and let our hormones talk. Her vagina was so dry, she couldn't even walk. I felt exhausted, mental, yet randomly erotic. Our low mood was acquainted and understood psychotic. As we engaged in jokes, stories, and chatter, I began to feel stupid, worthless, and looked even fatter. She said not to worry. It was just my hypothalamus. I needed sleep, a drink, and to think less. Ridiculous. She understood the pulse of paranoid thoughts. When imposter syndrome makes her think that she ought to take her own life. Then hormones change, and once again she's a replenished wife. She'd been ignored and told to man up. I felt validated with a half-full menstrual cup. Our symptoms were real, and so is she. The menopause, perimenopause is different for you and me. We knew friends with low mood, tinnitus and rages, dry eyes, lightheads who'd avoided sex for ages. They felt mental, distracted, unpredictable and blocked. Menstrual discourse had their stories mocked. With a smile, we swapped tea for ginger gin and allowed a brand new conversation to begin. With loose lips, inconvenient taboos were told. A menstrual health revelation broke the mold because sex cells are marketed wrong. A lack of estrogen and estradiol won't get me in a thong, and when progesterone and testosterone go off on a bender, I'll be taking a tracksuit over any suspender. And it's high time for PMDD to be believed. It's not a bad mood or PMT as once perceived. The menopause itself isn't just bloody hot sweats. It's acne, rosacea, rumination, and whatever she gets. And ADHD can make it even more shit. It's not made up. You've not imagined it. Neither is the woman who feels puberty again. Not herself, paranoid, just not quite the same. We discussed the antidepressants prescribed for nothing, and that there'd be more relief from a blueberry muffin because they weren't depressed, just depressed from progression of the great hormone disbelief, depression. But now shame was shedding along with misinformation. In fact, her friend was a HRT sensation. It changed her and her husband's life for the better. They renewed the vows, and her vagina, well, it got wetter. I knew a colleague who simply changed her diet. Her friend knew a friend whose friend kept quiet until she soaked her soul in supplements and meditation. Our conversation just described a lifetime of missed generations, lunatic, traumaed and misinterpreted women. But now the one sinking seemed to be swimming. As we sipped ginger gin with my eczema and her bloat, we smiled as we shared the same gripped throat, as my water retention whet her appetite to rebel. With choice words like, "Fuck hormones are hell," I laughed and said, "Well said." And we agreed. It was indeed all in our head. Hormones are made in our brain too. We've known for years it's not out the blue. So the next time a hormonal woman out there is scorned, let's chat together. No longer misinformed.